Hello, welcome to this next video by Wisdom Mitra. Today we would be covering a test in which I have covered questions that are related to constitution. Let us go. This is a basic level test and it's all about your memory, but these are the most important questions. They are repeated, they are asked in some or the other form. So it's good to watch video for sure. So the first question is constitutional advisor of Constituent Assembly. Who was constitutional advisor? And it's obvious it was Dr. B.N. Rao. Budget is presented in accordance with which article? Let us do one recap of what we have seen during introduction of Constitution by one of our previous videos. And if you see over here, you may notice 52 to 151. This covers the Union, and budget basically is part of that. So over here, Article 112, annual financial statement, that is budget, is Article 112. So over here, the answer would be 112. Article 15, obviously, it's from fundamental rights, so this will not be the answer. 223 doesn't covers the union, so won't be the answer. 19, again fundamental rights, so won't be the answer. So obviously, the answer is 112. Constitutional amendment is in accordance with which article? It's 368. Again, a memory based question, straightforward, but very important article that you should know and remember. Which of the following article is related to Vice President of India? Article 63. 72 is about pardon. Ordinary bill, no, it is in no way related to Vice President. 300A, obviously not related to Union, so might not be in all possibility, right? That's how you should look at it. Right to education is which article? Article 21A. This is a recent article that has been added in 2002 as an amendment. It was 86th amendment through which this was added. As far as I remember, it was 86th. Um, Probably was 83 or 86, one of the two. Okay, this is a simple question. 12.5. One fourth is 25%. Half of that is 12.5. Then, when was the Constitution passed and accepted? It was passed and accepted on 26th of November 1949. Which part of Constitution speaks about fundamental rights? Part 3. Let us do a recap in terms of parts. Yeah. So part 1 talks about union and its territory. Part 2 talks about citizenship. Part 3 is about fundamental rights. Right? Just 1 minute, let me put in pen. So part 3 talks about fundamental rights, and part 4 is directive principle. Part 4a, fundamental duties. Again, you can see this has been added later in accordance with uh, constitutional amendment 42nd, and because of that it has 51a along with it. 52 to 151 union, 152 to 237 in states. And then what is important is these ones as well, again added on account of um, amendments 243O, 243P to 243ZG, and then cooperative societies. So these three, 9, 10A, 10B, these three are also important parts that you should know about. Similarly, um, you know, part 15 about elections, important one. And then part 20, amendment 368 we just saw. These are the important ones. Okay, let us go back to the test. Which of the following article is pertaining to right to freedom? So right to equality, and then comes right to freedom, which is Article 19. So 14 onwards, the right to equality. and then right to freedom, and then comes right against exploitation, right? And then after that, religious and fundamental rights, which is Article 25. Okay. And then constitutional remedies, which is Article 32. Okay. So basically, your answer is answer Article 19. Which of the following is pertaining to right to religious freedom? Article 25. Which among the following is an article pertaining to directive principles? Directive principles. Obviously, 51A is fundamental duties. We just saw. We can go back and see that as well. 51A is fundamental duties. So 52, sorry, 36 to 51, these would be the directive principles. So which one is 36 to 15? This article is pertaining to directive principle. Which was interim president of Constituent Assembly? It was Dr. Sachidanand Sinha. Who was elected president? It was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So this is one trick question usually asked. Interim president. So interim president is someone who was immediately elected on basis of seniority. It was Dr. Sachidanand Sinha. But then when Constituent Assembly conducted an election to select a president, it was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Part 1 of Constitution. Constitution's Part 1 is nothing but Union and its territory. Which part of Constitution is related to Panchayats? We just saw Part 9. We can quickly look back as well. If you remember, Part 9, Panchayats. Right? Let us go back. Which article is related to elections? Elections is 324 to 329A. We saw this is related to Panchayat, municipalities, etc. So not covered. 1 to 13, very first, union and its citizen, not the answer. 14 to 31, these are fundamental rights. So this is the easier one. I'll drop this question is pertaining to cons. Which aspect of constitution has been borrowed from Ireland? Directive principle, fundamental rights, judicial review, and parliamentary system. So let us see this sources of constitution quickly. Ireland. Directive principles of state policy, method of presidential elections, nomination of members of Rajya Sabha by President. So if you see, directive principles have been taken from Ireland. British, its lawmaking procedure, rule of law, single citizenship, etc. USA, fundamental rights, independence of judiciary, judicial review, Supreme Court and High Court judges related, removal, impeachment, and preamble. Weimar Constitution, suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. Australia, concurrent list. South Africa, two-third majority. France, republican system, principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. USSR, fundamental duties. So from Ireland, it's directive principles. Okay, let us go back. So directive principles. Fundamental rights, where from have we taken this? It's USA. Judicial review, again USA. Parliamentary system, UK. Okay, so this is the one that's meant for Ireland. Okay, let's go next. What's the difference between a minister and member of parliament? Fairly simple question. Minister is always from the ruling party. Who is the current minority affairs minister? It's Mr. Kiren Rijiju. When was Constituent Assembly founded? So if you see, Constituent Assembly was founded even before independence. What's the amendment of? So you can remember this is date. You can quickly see the some facts about Constituent Assembly. So first meeting took place on 9 December 1946, right? And it was around this time, 9 December 1946, that Constituent Assembly was formed. Okay, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was selected as president on 11th. Next, what is the amendment? Amendment is nothing but a change in constitution. A new law may be or may not be amendment, need not always be. Financial bill also need not be an amendment bill. A previous act being changed, that's also not an amendment to the constitution. Judicial review is considered to be basic structure. That's true. Promotion of agriculture in basic structure, no. This, this false. What's the meaning of separation of powers in context of constitution? Separate powers of central and state government, separate powers of supreme court. This is the answer. Separation of powers means legislative, executive, and judiciary. They have their different duties, and they are all supposed to follow those duties. Which aspect of constitution has been borrowed from USA? As we spoke, judicial review. Okay. Fundamental duties, they have been taken from USSR. Directive principles, we just saw it's Ireland. Okay. Judicial reviews, US. And parliamentary review, UK. Okay. Which schedules deals with union and state list? It's schedule 7. Let's quickly look at the schedules list also. Okay. So like if you see over here, let me take so this is the one we were talking about, deals with three legislative lists, union, state, and concurrent. So this is one of the most important schedules. You have to know the schedule. And then ninth schedule is also important. List of central and state laws that cannot be challenged in court. 10th schedule later added. It's defection related. Panchayats and municipalities again added later. So these are important ones that I've highlighted in a bolder one, right? And then schedule one, names of state union territories. This is also important. So like these are the most important schedules that you should know about. Going back, so schedule 7, that is the one. Can a joint sitting of both houses be called an amendment bill? No. GST was introduced by which amendment? 101. Right to education was introduced by 86th. Yeah, we were talking about this, right? So, 42nd Amendment, it happened somewhere in 1970s. Very important. It made a lot of changes. So, this one is right to education somewhere in 2002, I guess. 101 we just saw it's GST. Okay, somewhere in 2017 or so. 100th Amendment, it is related to some exchange of territories. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. Looking forward to your comments and share and subscription. Thank you.